Welcome to Data Analyst channel. Here I am going to teach you the most asked data analytics interview question along with practical. So let's begin with SQL, and the first question in SQL is I am going to teach you is keys in SQL. Keys in SQL is an attribute which helps you uniquely identify a record of data in table. There are different types of keys in SQL. So let's begin with primary key. Just a moment. Wait a minute. Okay, the primary key. A primary key is uniquely identifies each record in table. It ensures that there are no duplicate record in the table. Example, user ID column. So you can see there is an employee ID is in a primary key of this table. So there will be no duplicate in employee ID. That means there will be no records, duplicate records you can insert in this table. Let's go to the practical. Wait a minute. So you can see 1001 is primary key. Okay, let's go to the practical. Okay, you just install Microsoft SQL Server. So the many organization using the Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio only. So let's begin with I'm going to create a new database. Exam. Okay, fine. That's it. Okay, it's working fine. Okay, I'm going to create a new table with primary key. Okay, let's create table employee and the employee ID. So here is employee ID is a primary key. I'm declaring int. You can create a variable character or whatever you want. So here I'm going to create integer only. So the value you're going to insert in the employee table only is integer value. So I'm declaring it's a primary key. That means there will be no duplicate employee ID in this table. So okay, let's create first name. The name should be a variable character, so it's not integer. So and the last name, so it's also variable character. Yeah, it's okay. Execute. Okay, now let's check the table. So now I'm going to insert values in this table for this table. Insert into employees values, and the ID it should be an integer value, and the first name and the last name also. I'm going to insert two records for the practical purpose, so you can try with multiple records. There's no problem. So it's executed. Yeah, two rows are affected. Now select the employee table. Two rows are available. So employee ID is a primary key. There will be no duplicate. The records in the rows are identified uniquely. that means distinct value. And if I'm trying to insert the new record with the same employee ID, that means I'm going to insert the employees values. The one is already available in employee record, employee table, so it will not execute. So it means it will not affect the rows. So I'm going to try the different names but same employee ID. So it violates the primary key uh, declaration. So that means the primary key is the violation of primary key constraints. So that means it's clearly say that the primary key is uniquely identifies each record in a table. It ensures that there are no duplicate record in this table. So second one is the foreign key. A foreign key is established relationship between two tables by referencing the primary key of another table. So it ensures that, meaning that, okay, let's check, let's go to the practical. So I'm going to create another table with department. So again I'm creating department ID. So department ID is again is a primary key. That means there is no duplicate key. Sorry, duplicate values. So not null means is no should not be null value. It should be value. So department name is a variable characters. The name should be character values. So then again I'm creating, so we employee ID. So the name of this column is not necessary the same name of the employee column. So you can create any other name. There's no problem creating any other name. But when you are referencing the column, it should be same name in the same name of the employee table. So here I'm creating employee ID. So it's integer. Then I am going to referencing the using foreign key employee ID and referencing the primary key of the employee table. So here I am referencing the primary key of the employee ID. So for this you need to write the table name, that means employee, and the column name, that is the employee ID. You can see the column name is different. Here I'm use, yeah, it's same. No, it's not same. So here I'm in department table. I use employee ID. I use double E, where in employee table I just used only single E. So the name of the two column is different. So insert. So I'm going to insert values for the department table. That's okay, values. So department ID is one. You can, and the department name. So IT. So here is employee ID. It should be same values in the same values of the employee table. The value of the employee ID in the department table should be same values of the employee ID of the employee table. So the two rows are affected. So now let's try. Just select the table to confirm it's working. It's fine. Yeah, it's working fine. So if I'm going to, now let's try another one. If I'm going to insert the value of the employee ID is not available in the employee table, it will inject the, or it will not execute. It will give the error. So if I'm trying to add the values, is not available in the employee table, the employee ID. So I'm inserting 5 is not available in the employee table. the value employee ID. So it says that the insert statement conflicted with the foreign key constraints. That means the value 5 is not available in the employee table. That means, so now we can understand that how the foreign key works. It just reference the prime value of the primary key, value of the primary I mean prime yeah, the foreign key is established. Yeah, you can see here department ID, and the department ID is table 2. Yeah, the third one is the unique key. Unique key is ensure that all the values in column or set of columns are unique, similar to primary key. Unlike primary key, the table can have multiple unique key. Unique key is allows null values also. So the primary key is only one primary keys you can declare in the table, but unique key is you can declare 2, 3, 4, or 5. For example, if you are creating email account or something else, we need to create multiple column uh, uniquely. That means we are trying to create account in the Gmail or something, so you can create the same account with, I mean, two account with the same email ID. Okay, just now I'm going to create table name. So let's drop the table. If it's, yeah, there is no table name email. Okay, I'm going to create table with name with email. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, id is integer again. It's the primary key, it's not null. And I'm going to create user email. Yeah, it's a variable character again, and it's I'm going to define is unique. That means there will be no duplicate values in these columns. Again, username, I'm creating variable character, and it's also unique. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm going to execute. So working fine. So I'm going to select mail table. Yeah. Okay, there's it. 3 column is available. So now I'm going to insert values for this table. Insert into mail values, and abc@gmail.com. Again, abc is a username. So to assigning, inserting different values, I can def and so it's working fine. So there's no duplicate in these values. So yeah, now if I'm trying to insert same to email and username with different ID, it will give errors. That means it's not it's violate the unique key constraints. Let's try. Yeah, the violation of the unique key constraints. So there will be no duplicate in this column. Now you understood how these unique keys works. Another one is wait a minute, candidate key. Candidate key is nothing but a set of one or more columns that are uniquely identified record in the table. From the candidate key, one chosen as the primary key, anything. So if there is a one or two keys in this table, so it will be called as a candidate key. So in this table, uh, in the mail table, you can call it as a candidate key. Because it has more than one keys. more than one column as any key. Another one is a composite key. So it's also set up two or more attributes that helps to identify each tuple table uniquely. If there is a table, if the table has more than two or more unique columns that are uniquely identifies, then it is called as a composite key. Thank you for watching. I'll come up with another video. Thank you.